Are you rolling? What is up, guys, and welcome back to Daily Drives. And today we present to you the 6th generation Nissan Altima. However, this one is a little bit different, as I'll explain further down in this video. So right off the bat, the Altima has been with us since 1993. So it's not that old of a car. However, it has produced millions and millions of copies of this car. And it's also contributed around 20% to Nissan's overall car sales. Furthermore, the Altima was also the stepping stone when it came to Nissan new, call it rebrand. They improved the styling, they improved the technology, they improved the performance, and they adapted from this car into their entire model lineup. Now, the car we have here today is the SL variant of the Altima. Granted, the car did need a big redesign and did go through a big redesign in 2019. When it comes to the 2020 model, only a handful of things actually ended up changing. And this had more to do with the technology aspect of the car rather than its looks. Now, when it was time for Nissan to accumulate its entire design team to develop this car from an exterior standpoint, they came up with a really cool design. I mean, from every angle, this car looks really good. And when you get up close and personal with it, you see it's got this floating roof ornament. Combine that with these very sharp and very prominent wide lines going all the way from the front to the rear. And also this V-motion front grille. I mean, from any angle, this car looks good. And best of all, the SL version comes with these big 19-inch wheels, which completes the car perfectly. To be honest, they've done a really, really good job. Now, when it comes to the interior of the Altima, I mean, that was where a lot of the change also had to be made. I mean, exterior is one thing, interior is, if not anything, more important. And they've done a really good job. They've made everything extremely user-friendly. All the buttons and everything you touch and feel feels very well put together. And then you're also greeted with this, what they call zero-gravity seats, which make you feel like you're not really sitting, but you are sitting. Now, not to make it sound funny, the interior materials in this car are extremely good. I mean, granted, it's not real wood, it's emulated, and this is definitely not real carbon fiber, but as I said before, the seats are really comfortable, but the materials used are also extremely soft. And then you've got this big center console, which holds your arm and positions it perfectly to the driving position that you're in. And it all feels really good. Now, when it comes to the back, there is no compromise, because it is, if anything, just as comfortable to sit here than it is there. I mean, you've got a very nice supporting armrest. You've got AC vents, you've got USB-C and USB charging points. I mean, all in all, really, for a back seat, what more do you want? Back up front, you are presented with this infotainment screen. Does everything you want it to do. You've got phone connectivity, Bluetooth connections, navigation. You've also got 360 cameras, which is kind of cool for a car of this price and spec, so to speak. You've also got your AC and climate control, which, I mean, if you leave the AC on long enough, it will start to snow. I mean, it's freezing in here, freezing. Below there, you've got your USB-C, you've got your USB, and you've got an auxiliary port, together with a lot of storage for things, I suspect. I mean, you could easily place your phone here. You've got more than sufficient space in the center console with 2 cup holders and 2 little cubby holes left and right. It is also fair to mention that this car has an enormous boot to put lots of stuff in. I mean, it's huge, very big. For a car this size, it's big. Now, before we round off the interior when it comes to its technology, because there's still one very important thing to mention after I mention the following, which is its safety. I mean, there's a lot of it. This car actually comes with what's called the, I have to read this from a blurb, unfortunately, because there's literally too much information to remember. Nissan's Intelligent Mobility Technologies and Safety. And this consists of intelligent forward collision warning with forward emergency braking and pedestrian detection. So if a human walks in front of your car, it will stop on your behalf. Furthermore, you've got blind spot warnings, intelligent around view monitoring with moving object detection, high beam assist, intelligent cruise control, intelligent driver alertness, lane departure warning, intelligent lane intervention, rear cross traffic alert. I mean, and 6 airbags. This is the safest thing on planet Earth. Now, last but not least, it comes to the gauge cluster. Now, Nissan has made it very, very familiar, which is obviously very nice. You've got your RPM on the left and your speedo to your right, but they've now given you the screen in the middle with the buttons on the steering wheel allowing you to go through various menus. You've got your navigation, you've got your Bluetooth, you've got your surrounding 360 area, you've got your fuel economy, and then you've also got this one that's very interesting and hinting back to the point that I started with in this video, because it says variable compression turbo. And that's right, this car is turbocharged.
Why'd you put a turbo on my car?
And that brings me to the highlight of this car. The Altima SL comes with the 2-liter, 4-cylinder, variable compression turbo engine. A world's first, in fact. I mean, it is a very impressive tool. With respect to its previous brother, the 2.5 dual overhead cam setup, this car now produces around 248 horsepower, combined with 273 foot-pounds of torque. I mean, that's a lot of power compared to its 188 horsepower sibling. So the reason why this is actually kind of interesting is because Nissan technicians have managed to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. They've managed to create a multi-link system to deal with the compression of the engine, giving it a 8:1 ratio or a 14:1, i.e. equaling to power and economy. So depending on how the driver is driving the car, it will control the power output somehow. And that means actually quite simply, they've created a car that produces V6 power and retaining the economy from a little 4-cylinder engine. Now to harness all this power, they've transferred all this through an 8-speed Xtronic CVT gearbox. Now I know the CVT gearbox isn't the most loved gearbox out of them all, but in terms of power delivery in this car with the flappy paddle gearbox, it does it pretty well. Now I know this tech talk might sound a bit boring. However, the real way to put all of this to the test is to take it out for a drive. And for that, I have my trusty co-host, Osama, who will explain to you more about this car.
So as Casper was rambling about high compression this, low compression that, turbo this and that, I mean, at the end of the day, yes, it is very interesting. They put a lot into building this engine, but what is it like on the road? Well, let's find out, shall we? I remember getting into this car the first day that we got it and like, oh man, it's just I mean, this is gonna be really difficult to talk about. The Altima has always been a good car, but no, I mean, I put my foot down just like I'm doing now. Where is this power coming from? Nobody knows. Whoa! I mean, it really shoots off. It surprises you. I mean, you don't really expect it to be this quick, but it is. I mean, sub 6 seconds to 100 kilometers an hour. I mean, that's faster than most hot hatches. Are you kidding me? Let's go, Nissan. I mean, you would be forgiven if you drive this thing too fast and you think it handles better than it does. Because the speed is literally exhilarating. You just want more and more of it. It sounds kind of good. I mean, it's loud inside. Yes, that's good. It's loud outside. But outside, it just looks very dignified. It doesn't look like a sports car. There's nothing that would tell you that this thing is fast. I'm really confused. So when you sit down in this car, it's very comfortable. Everything you touch is soft. Yes, there are hard plastics inside the car, but let's be honest, you don't really see them because they're nicely covered, and you kind of expect that in this price point. But they don't bother me because I haven't paid much for this car. I'm assuming I'm you. The air conditioning is very cold in here. It's freezing. I'm literally shaking. But I mean, in a country like this, or in the Middle East, where a good portion of the year it's around 50 degrees in the sun, and you have a dark color like this, you kind of need that. Also, I mean, the steering wheel is very nice to touch. And on the steering wheel, you feel around and you're like, wait, are those paddle shifters? My confusion was, I called the marketing guy who explained us some things about this car, which is very interesting. And he said that, yes, those are paddle shifters. I was like, well, isn't this a CVT? He's like, yes, it's an Xtronic CVT. Meaning, it simulates gears. Which is very odd, because you don't expect it from a CVT. I had to double check a couple of times to make sure, is it a CVT? Is it? Yes, it is a CVT. And yeah, when you accelerate without using the paddle shifters, it does what the CVT does. It sits at the top range of the RPM, at peak power all the time, so you're not getting any transmission loss, or you're getting less transmission loss, and it's very weird, but I kind of like it. I don't know why. I'm confused as well, but it's really enjoyable to drive, and I like this. I like this kind of approach. You know, the car's understated on the outside. It doesn't have anything that says sport this, or, you know, something that, or, you know, there's no Nismo or anything like that. This is an economy car. You buy it, let's go racing. That's it. All right, but, you know, not many people are gonna buy this car because they want a sports car, right? It's an added bonus, obviously. But there are a lot of added bonuses in this car. One, whenever we pick up a car, we always see something. It's like, oh man, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? Where is the spot for my phone? Where is this holder? Where is that cup holder? All of that stuff. Well, there is nothing I can say about this car that's bad. And I know it sounds biased, but for the money you're paying for a car like this, I mean, I honestly cannot complain. What else would you want more? I would love all of the cars in this segment to have this sort of kit. Meaning, Bose sound system that is better than cars that are 3 times the price, right? A dashboard that seems more premium than it actually is, and even when you touch it, it's not too bad. An LCD screen between the gauges and one over here, that's fantastic to use, quite responsive as well, and just buttons underneath for your main things. That's it, very minimalistic. These AC controllers feel very nice to touch. I mean, obviously it's not Audi, but I mean, let's be real. It is very comfortable here. I've had no issues with the seating position whatsoever. The steering wheel is right in front of me, like directly right in front of me. If it's a little bit off sometimes, I hate that. I don't really talk about it because it's me nitpicking, but I have to point out that this one is very nice. Flat bottom steering wheel, well, why not? Make it easier on the bigger boys. All the controls I need to control the radio, everything on the steering wheel. Done. Sunroof, you got it, bro. Everything you need is in this car. That's it. Go A to B as quickly as possible within the speed limit. And when you don't want to go as fast, well, slow down and save on fuel, because the fuel economy is outrageous compared to the performance it gives you, compared to the price you're paying. I cannot fault it. I cannot say anything wrong about this car. I can't. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Daily Drives. We usually criticize cars more than this, so if you would like to see more of that, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification button. As well as, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, because it helps the channel and we get more views and we can make more videos and we can just be together in happiness and harmony. And also let us know down in the comment section below, what do you think of this car? Do you like it? Why don't you? As well as, would you buy it and why wouldn't you? Thank you so much and take care.